I want to talk about the huge number of Bigfoot sightings in Limestone County, Alabama. So let's take a look at the map now. In north central Alabama, you can see there are a number of Bigfoot sightings that I've listed. And if you click on each of the links, you'll also see the detailed reports of these sightings. And starting with this one, in Limestone County. Limestone County is one of the 3 Alabama counties with the most Bigfoot sightings. In 2001, a creature was reported to be 8 to 9 feet tall. It had brown hair covering its body, appeared to have no neck, very long arms, and took long strides. From the GCBRO website, I was hunting and it was getting dark. I heard something cross the creek that leads to the swamp, so I'm looking around thinking it may have been a deer. And a few minutes later, I see some big trees shaking, but no other trees were shaking. So I followed the trunk down and seen something huge and kind of dark in color. It had a hand on each tree and was swinging it back and forth. I was pretty freaked out. I took my gun and shot it in the air and ran off. When I shot it in the air, it looked at me and kind of jogged off along the Elk River from the GCBRO website. At the time, I was 13 or 14. I was on the annual visit to my grandparents' place in Athens, and I had gone to the river for a few days. At the end of the swamp was a shallow water swamp full of hardwood trees such as hickory and oak. I do not know how far back the swamp went, perhaps a few miles. I looked toward the swamp for some reason. When I did, I saw this thing coming out of the swamp just below the cow pasture. It was walking like we do on 2 legs. It waded in the water about knee deep, and it was dark in color, probably black, for the sun was shining upon this animal. I did not really pay much attention to it at first. My thoughts were that it was a bear. And I looked back at it again a few seconds later, and then it dawned on me this was not a bear. It was tall, about 8 or 9 feet, and it was big and bulky, and as noted before, hairy. I was not able to see its face due to the distance involved, but it did not appear to have a neck. And he says that he thinks it was trying to catch fish. I did not feel I was in danger. I felt no fear at the time. And you can read more about that report just by clicking on the link. Just below it, we have this one near Elkmont. And again, if you click on the link provided, it'll take you to the original eyewitness account from the BFRO.net website. Limestone County, 5 miles west of Elkmont on Morris Road into Vaughn Hollow. I was 17 years old. I'm now 24. It was late summer, and my girlfriend's parents had gone out for the night and asked me to stick around and look after her and her younger brother. I lived 5 miles west of Elkmont and 1.5 miles south of the Elk River. I was in the living room, and I had just got off the couch where me and her and her little brother were sitting to lock the front door. Something had jiggled the doorknob I had just locked about a minute before. We shut off the lights and looked out the windows, but did not see anything. I got us out of the house and ran to my parents' house to call the police. After the call was made, I stepped out of the house. I noticed an object standing in the field behind my house. I am 6 feet tall, and at that time the weeds were over my head. I shined my light toward what I had saw in the light of the moon, and I saw a creature that looked the shape of a human, but was much taller and much larger in size than human. It was an off-white color and had very large and well-defined muscles. I told the police what I had seen, and they told me my mind was playing tricks on me. I have saw it at the Hannah Ward Bridge, and I have saw it on the Sulphur Creek. Each time it did not seem to try to harm me, but it just stopped what it was doing to watch me as though it was just as curious of me as I was of it. And if you zoom in on this map here, you can see Sulphur Creek, and this is Vaughn Hollow. So in between here, and probably maybe in this little wilderness area, and you know, these patches of forest are connected. Here's the Elk River. This report on Townsend Ford Road. A Bigfoot was sighted in Limestone County in the 70s near Townsend Ford Road. Down here at the Swan Creek WMA range, there was another very detailed sighting. The creature appeared ahead in headlights. Okay, when he first saw movement, he thought, get ready to avoid a deer. Then he noticed it was upright. There was a road sign behind it, and the creature was about even with the sign, about 8 feet. It was not shaped like a bear, very similar to a Bigfoot seen on TV, Bigfoot in the Patterson film. It was one color, not shaggy, but hair covered. It took less than 4 steps to cross the paved road. It had very long arms, but not much of a neck, and it was very muscular looking, probably over 500 pounds. It crossed the road right to left, perpendicular to the highway, then through the ditch to the left, then out of the lights. Hands were closer to the knees than the hips. Upper body leaned slightly forward, just walking briskly, but not running. In Tanner, and it's from the bfro.net. Oh, this is a very long one, because this woman is doing all she can to get people to believe what she saw, and no one will believe her. She also heard it, and she didn't want to believe it herself, but she had no choice but to believe her, and it really freaked her out. Nobody, not even her husband, would believe her. It's the same creature, and it's all over this area. But they don't seem to be attacking people, or they just want to be doing their own thing and, probably not hunted down. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.